Hey, Shalom, Markin to the Karmak Pash from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful, like pushing his truth in all sincerity. Yeah, back again with another video. And, we see, what went down there at the White House between, President Trump and Zelensky. The whole spat that materialized, man, which, was nothing but theater, for the world to eat up, right? Which, puts even more prophecy into motion, and this is how we all see it, even though, the elites are working behind the scenes to pull these strings to bring around these events, right? So they can accomplish their NWO agenda, right? Only, they're accomplishing the Heavenly Father's prophetic agenda, man. So, it's all necessary, right? All these fun and games, right? But off the back of this, we know Zelensky. He on what day was this? Whenever it was, like after this meeting, he came over to. He came over to UK or he came over to Europe. I think it was the UK. He came over, right? And met with our Prime Minister Starmer, right? Right? And it seems like obviously they UK and the European nations, they all want to back Zelensky, and they're talking about bringing in all this money. You see here, EU outlines 800 billion in defense funding options, and after Trump pulls UK military aid. Well, that was recently. He pulled. He pulled. He stopped sharing intelligence with them today, right? But these men want to back Ukraine and Zelensky, and they're prepared to put money up, which is funny because when Trump was president before, them man didn't want to put money up for NATO, but all of a sudden they got this money, right? That they're going to tax the shit out of the people with, for. They got this money for the Ukraine war though, right? And so already there's gonna be hard fucking times ahead for, the peoples of Europe, right? Because they're gonna tax the shit out of you, right? Fighting for a nation that don't give a fuck about you, really. You got some fucking Strictly Come Dancer president Zelensky, some actor, right? Acting like he care about he care about everybody, right? And he want everybody money to help him fight the Russians, right? But my thing is this: what the Russians ever done to us? If I remember correctly, if history serves me correct, man, they helped save us from in World War II. So who's the bad guy? I don't understand. But yeah, this is fucking politics, right? And propaganda and all these things are flying about. Right, but again, it's to further enhance that NWO order agenda that the elites have. All right, so they have to convince the people that we need to spend money on this war. That's nothing really to do with us. So it will cripple the people. The commoner, right? Cripple the people even more, putting more and more into debt, which makes them more and more dependent on the government when everything dries up. Okay, which results in needing the MOTB. That's what this is down to, right? So this is all playing out, right? So expect hard times ahead, as we have always prophesied, because we're the prophets of doom, right? Right? We've always prophesied there's harder times ahead, right? And so they're committing 800 billion of your taxpayer money essentially to fight this war that they're not going to win, right? It's just they're gonna be throwing money into a black hole, right? Because they need America to be in this deal for them to even get a situation out of it, and so they might as well just do what Trump says, but they're playing this fucking bullshit politics. But anyway, right? So you see parts of the news here. So yeah, so these European nations, NATO, right? They kind of going behind the back, not necessarily behind the back because obviously everyone's seeing it, right? But like they're defying the agenda of the head honcho, which is America, right? The handler, the whore that sitteth on the beast, this ruler, right? So they're going behind or going against, Trump's wishes in dealing with Ukraine and doing all this extra stuff where he's saying, look, man, this guy's He don't want to do. He don't want peace. He just wants war, right? But this is defiant, right? And obviously these relationships, because we know in the scriptures, which we're gonna get in a second, it's like, yeah, but this alliance, this relationship that America has with these European nations or whatever, right? We know it's gonna end horribly, right? Because it's in the scriptures, it's in prophecy, right? This divorce between America and its allies is gonna be horrible, right? It's gonna get messy, okay? So, like I said, everything we're witnessing here is part of that process of that messy divorce, which is gonna ultimately end bad for America, but it don't mean that it's gonna be good for NATO and the EU, in the EU, the beast, right? It ain't gonna end well for them either. But America's it definitely ain't good for America. So let's jump into the scriptures, right? And I want to start here in Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God Yahweh concerning Edom. Okay, which all these nations that are at odds right now are all Edomite nations. Funny enough, right? Same with World War 1 and 2. Right? It's always these men that are bringing about war and profiting of it, right? So we have heard a rumor from the Lord, right? An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle, right? So the theater of war is being built up by the Heavenly Father, right? Which is to heavily include these Edomites, right? This is why we're working towards a World War III, right? Because of all these tensions, right? It's all these Edomites doing all this fucking bullshit, right? And the Most High has got these other nations kind of rising up against her to fight this madness, right? Not saying that these men are righteous at all, but they're the tool being used to come up against the European American powers, See, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. So not only do your enemies or nations that you rule over hate you, right? Because of what you're doing to them. Your allies even are starting to hate you, right? You're supposed to be working with them, but you don't take the stance of working with them because you know that these other nations need you more than you need them, right? And you take that stance. You don't have an equal relationship. All this equality that this world promotes, right? They don't have an equal relationship with America, and America knows that. Well, Trump especially knows that, and so he ain't at it to negotiate as an equal. Yeah, you need me, I don't need you. That's his stance. That's why he's let me grab this quickly. He's as it what do you say here? It says this is Daniel chapter 7 verse 20, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came out, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Right, this little horn that came out of Britain, right? Came out of Britain and took down the British, the French, and the Spanish to claim its dependency from them in the land of America, right? Right. He is more proud, or has more pride, than the nations that he came from, that he came out of, right? Or that he overcome, right? That's why he says whose look was more stout than his body. He's more proud than his contemporaries, right? His allies, right? And that stings them. It stings them, man, knowing that you don't come to America and negotiate on an equal footing. You don't, because they're in the power seat, and these other nations are so much weaker than America. So much, it's not even close. And this is why it's like that. Everybody wants to be under America's umbrella because they get to make money out of them. Because without America, man, they're kind of screwed. That's just the truth of the matter. These nations are so much weaker than America. If it was like closer, if the nations weren't so as weak as they were, this relationship might not be so lopsided in this way, right? Because pretty much all of Europe is not even equal to America. That's how mad it is. That's how weak these individual European nations are. And the UK, they're just that much weaker that they are really, getting punked all the damn time by America, because America just it's the big bad bully in the world. All right, so that's the relationship, and these nations are kind of sick and tired of that, right? Because they don't get to really go after their own agendas. They have to, go by the agendas of the Americans. All right, so like I said, so America is increasingly proud because of this situation, because of their position in the earth. Okay, so going back to Obadiah, right? So yeah, he's greatly despised. Okay, so the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, right? Because you've been sitting in this comfortable position this whole time because no one is really incomparable of you, right? You've like I said, you've waxed super proud, right? So the pride of thy heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high above all the other nations, right? That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You look at these other nations around you, and they're just not able to compete with you. Now it's taking like an alliance between Russia, China, Iran, for people to BRICS nations to kind of really put up a fight against you. Europe, Europe is weak, right? And yeah, they got NATO, but who's the main part of NATO? America. All right. And this has been the complaint of the Americans, man. You ain't, you European nation ain't putting your weight. You ain't spending the money. You getting America to do all the work. And Trump was like, we ain't paying for that no more. I don't want to pay for it no more. I ain't helping Ukraine. They either do, do the deal I want to do, or there ain't no deal. Right? It's plain and simple as that, because they are in the power seat. Okay, and it's not even close. Like these men can't really say nothing. How is Europe gonna find 800 billion? These European nations are struggling as it is already, and they're just gonna find 800 billion. And it's not these leaders, these politicians, about that they don't suffer this increase in cost, right? They're okay. It's the people. The people are gonna get screwed over from this charitable donation or whatever, man. This help that they're supplying to Ukraine. These men don't feel the effects of that, right? So it's only the people that are going to be grounded into the dirt because of this. Because like I said, these are not small sums of money. All right, and like I said, these nations are already struggling. Their people are already fucking tired and drained. Okay, so yeah, things are screwed, right? I'm gonna skip down here to verse 7 here, right? It says, all the men of thy confederacy, right, your allies, right, have brought thee even to the border, the men that were at peace with thee. Okay, because they want to be at peace. These European nations want to be at peace, man, because they just want the best relationship possible so they can do the deals, right? They have no real want to go against America. But like I said, things, they're getting tired. They're getting frustrated. As far as Europe concerned, the narrative is, Russia, Ukraine, that's on our doorstep. That's not on your doorstep. That's why Zelensky was like, "Oh, you have an ocean. You have an ocean between you. But you will feel it. But you will feel it. Don't tell us what we will feel." Right. So that's the thing. So you want to, take hold of its own interests. When, as far as I'm concerned, Russia is a European problem because they're landlocked. They're connected. Right, and Ukraine is like a buffer zone between them, so they want to arm Ukraine to fight off the Russian invasion, right? Because Russia's planning to take over the world or some shit, Which I don't. That's not the that's not what I'm getting from what Putin's doing. But anyway, so yeah, they want to have greater control, just much like the fucking Brexit, right? With UK thinking that we just want more control over what we do. We don't want to be pegged to Europe and do have to do with their policies, and that we want to do it on our own. Yeah, look how that turned out. UK is weak, Europe is weak, and they ain't doing shit by themselves. That's why there's a block. Right? And you want to separate yourselves from America, or if America threatened to do that, or whatever the case may be, you're fucked. It's just the truth, right? Europe is, this whole kingdom's on its way out. It's all on its way out, right? But you definitely screwed about America. And it's just the fact, and Trump knows that. That's why he comes with that, pompous attitude. Get that proud stance, right? But like I said, it grates these European nations, man. It aggravates them, it frustrates them, right? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, right? So they're gonna perform an upset, right? Because like I said, the element of surprise and all that, right? right? They're gonna pretend to be cool, right? We're gonna be cool. We're cool, right? But in a pivotal, crucial moments, they're gonna turn their backs on you. Europe is gonna, the beast is gonna turn its back on the whore and bite the hand that feeds it, right? And burn her with fire, which we're gonna get in a second, right? So they have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound on thee, right? I said biting the master's hand, right? Those that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him, right? There's not gonna be no reason in him, right? Because they're gonna be, the spirit is gonna be dead set on them to do what they're gonna do. All right. So ain't no convincing them to do otherwise, right? So, yep. Revelation 17 and let me see here quick. Let me read a little bit of this on the top right. Verse 1 says, in Revelation 17:1 says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, right? And this whore is America, who sitteth on upon many waters, which is the nations of the world. Right? It rules over them. Okay? And it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of fornication, right? Because everybody wants to be involved with America and do deals and all this kind of business, right? Because they're, the mega nation on the planet, right? Profitable, right? So let me get from 9 here, right? Actually, no. Let me 15, right? So, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues, right? So it's talking about nations, countries, right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, okay, these shall hate the whore, right? So the beast that the whore sits on is going to hate them, right? So the horns that it presides over, the whore that sits on them, that rules over these horns, these heads, right? Which is NATO in the EU, right? That's their foundation ally, right? NATO in the EU is American owned, right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, he shall hate the whore, right? And you can see that resentment building up, right? And shall make her desolate and naked. Okay, going back to Obadiah, okay, those that eat thy bread shall lay a wound under thee, right? So they're going to make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's what's going to happen, right? They're going to fall out. And like I said, this divorce is going to get messy, right? But these Europeans ain't going to let it be known until that pivotal moment. Okay, it's not something that, they're going to declare themselves enemies and we're going to go to war with America. That's not how it's going to play out, right? They're going to be working together, right? Because this whole World War III is going to be, situated between Russia and America, right? And the small hats and the Iranians and that kind of stuff in the Middle East, right? And so they're going to be on the same side, fighting that war, protecting the protecting the small hats, right? But there's going to come a point in time where, the opportunity is going to present itself and the spirit is going to come upon them because the Most High are going to put it on them, right? To turn against them, right? And when those missiles are shot at America, okay, all of them, everybody that possesses these missile technologies and these nuclear technologies, right? They're all going to be shot at the same time, and they're going to destroy America. Okay, along with Russia, they're going to shoot their missiles along with Russia, along with Iran, and Pakistan, and whoever got all these missiles, right? They're all going to shoot at America, right? Because that is the will of the Heavenly Father, right? So that's how the outcome of that's going to be, right? So again, verse 17 asks, for God have put in their hearts to fulfill His will, because that's the only will that matters at the end of the day, right? It doesn't matter what the agenda of the elites are. Like I said, they're orchestrating these events to, solidify their new world order. But ultimately, that's not what's going to be fulfilled, right? So God have put in their hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God, until the words of the Most High Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which is America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? Because like I said, it's not even close. Right? When they negotiate, they don't negotiate equally because America is just so much more greater than all these other nations. You know? It's Isaiah 47, verse 7 says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, right? They're proud, and so they don't think they're ever going to really be in adversity, right? But from other nations, you know. So neither disremember the latter end of it. Said, you know, because of all the things that they've done, they've gone around and fucked over everybody, pissed off everyone, right? So therefore, hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, right? You're just doing whatever you want on the earth, not caring about the repercussions, right? So that says in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me, because there's no equal to America. Like I said, it's not even close, right? None is I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, because what nation can stand up against me, really? You know. And so it goes on to say, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth me, because you think you're slick, right? And all this witchcraft that you've been doing around the world, with media and the propaganda and all this kind of business, right? Science, pseudoscience, all this shit, right? He says, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. Because you've been gassed up on the fact that you've, been having it your way, basically. That these people people have been believing these deceptions for the most part, and you've been able to, become great off it, And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. America's not expected to be destroyed, and you can, the common people on the street and these commentators and stuff, man, they can't see or envision a time, a moment where America is going to be defeated by any of these world armies. They're so proud, right? They don't think it could ever happen. Now they show it in their movies and stuff like that, but in terms of military campaigns, they don't actually think Russia can actually beat America, or these other nations could beat America or NATO. Because they're stuck on what they think they know, right? Yes, America is this size and has this many fighter carriers and all these types of things. Yes, they're allies with Britain and NATO. NATO. They got all these extra armies and stuff like that. That's things that they feel like they concretely know about their capabilities, right? But when all that shifted, when all that shifted, right? Yeah, well, NATO's not not an ally of America no more. You know what I mean? America's stretched too thin. Russia got better missile defense technologies and can take out your aircraft carriers and all this. When things start shifting, that narrative is not going to hold up any longer, right? And America's going to get touched. It is not intercepting any type of missile that's coming its direction when the Lord decides to shoot these missiles at you, man. Right? And everybody in America is going to be destroyed. Right? Save the elect. Okay, we're going to be delivered. All right. Says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, and they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and hast said, none seeth me, the wisdom and the knowledge have perverted me, and thou hast said, I am and else beside me. It's like I must have read this already, right? Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? So you're not going to be expecting it, as you don't. All right, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored. All this witchcraft and all this madness that you've been doing, you think it protects you, right? Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, right? All these meetings and stuff, right? Trying to, get things to the next stage of the NWO agenda and that kind of stuff. You're worried, right? What move to make next? It's not going to matter. Had to bring it about the next phase. It's not going to matter. You're going to get people to take the chip, the MOTB. You're going to get people to do that. But ultimately, this is all going to be for nothing. America's going to be destroyed at the end of this. Right? And all these nations are going to go down with it, ultimately. So, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, then thou hast prevailed. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. They're not going to be able to prevent the destruction of America. All right. See, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire, okay, which the Most High is going to put in the minds of these leaders, right, to burn it with, right, which is these nuclear missiles. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There should not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants, right? So all these relationships and these deals and, that you've been doing, all these different nations and the allies and all this kind of bullshit, right? They ain't gonna do nothing. So even thy merchants from thy youth, they shall wander everyone to his own quarter. They're gonna turn their back on you, man. They're gonna go back to their place, man, because America's done. They're gonna just commit you to the fire. Till you're done. Right? They're gonna turn their back on you, right? So everyone shall wander on everyone to his quarter, and none shall say thee. No one's gonna stand up and prevent what's gonna go down. Nobody. Right? All your allies are gonna turn your back on you. Right? Because you mistreated them. You've mistreated them, man. And they're gonna be like, to hell with America, man. The world's gonna be in agreement because the Most High Spirit's gonna be on them to shoot missiles at you. And these moments here is gonna be, I guess the carnal, physical reasons or part of these reasons why this is gonna happen. But ultimately, it's the will of the Heavenly Father, man. He's just, making it manifest. All right, for us to see, for us to be able to see. That can see. Who's most eyes open their eyes. So yeah. I think I just had one more left, and I'm gonna end it. Very short one. Right? Revelation 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right? So war is on the horizon, man, and these people are gearing up for war. So, like I said, this is the last war, right? This is gonna result in America's destruction, and this is gonna be the end of Esau's kingdom. Okay, which we know what happens afterwards, right? Because Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, which is gonna be the kingdom of Yahushai under the rulership of the Israelites. Right? So, we embrace this. All right. So, this is all fear, but we like to see it, because it just means we're moving forward in prophecy. So I'm gonna end it there. Lord, this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until next time, I say shalom.